Yeah.
Okay, we're not talking about animal form. We're talking about
Well, I mean,
many humans.
why not? If you have the ability, to transform.
It's a part of their lives.
Stop it!
You're telling me that if you could transform into an animal, you wouldn't
It's not
try
even.
it?
It's not even gonna come up.
Yeah, you're never going to have a conversation at least about it?
Oh my god, you guys.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Volume 1, the animated manga podcast, where we review the first volume of a brand new manga each week. My name is Josh Soma Michaels, and today, as always, I am joined by...
Megan Honda Perrine.
Cody and Orange Decker.
An orange?
My fruit Sona.
It's your fruit Sona.
Yeah.
If you read, okay.
All right.
We'll go into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Volume 1. Today's a very special episode because we are finally covering a series that is near and dear to my heart, but it is near and dear to my heart because of someone sitting across from me. Today we are covering...
Not you.
Today we are covering Volume 1 of Fruits Basket. And Megan, how do you feel about that?
I am ecstatic. When you brought it up, so funny to me. You're like, I was thinking about reviewing a manga with Zodiac, and I was like, stop! Don't even do this to me right now.
I feel like I didn't get enough credit.
Yeah, Cody gets credit, a little bit of credit there too, but I wouldn't be I wouldn't be as in love with this series if it wasn't for you. I mean, this series is something that you recommended to me a long time ago, specifically the 2019 reboot, if you can call it that. It got the Brotherhood treatment, not the original. And it's something I fell in love with, and actually hadn't read the manga until preparing for this episode. So I'm excited to talk about that, but I know how you feel about it. I want to give you a chance to tell the audience how you feel about it, and then I want to hear what this pig has to say about it.
Oh, you stole my joke.
No, yours was something different. Yours was better.
Joke. This was one of the first anime I'd ever watched in my early child years. This was really brought me into a Clannad as well, but I think I watched this before I watched Clannad.
You watched the 1998 version.
I watched the 1998-2001. I think the manga came out in 98, and then the anime came out in 2001. And at the time, I was only watching dub because I couldn't keep up with the subtitles yet because I was just like, so I had to watch dub. But honestly, the dub cast is fucking phenomenal. They brought him out for the 2019, whatever. I never read the manga, so I stopped the story. I believe they stopped it. They only covered till volume 6.
Wow.
Chapter 33 in the 2001 version. And it's literally what? How many years? 18 years apart that I've waited to. I mean, I didn't have to wait. I could have read the manga like everyone else. I definitely should have. But just to wait and then see, season 1, 2, 3 come out, season 1, 2019, for them to cover the whole 23 volumes, it was like, how did I miss out on this story? It gets so insane and the characters just grow, and it's one of my favorites of all time. It's
up there for me too. It's up there for me too. And I think it's deceiving because it's not what I think a lot of people think it is, which we're also going to unpack a little bit. But Mr. Cody Ecker, this is something that I think is a little bit outside of your comfort zone, not necessarily in your wheelhouse, slice of life-ish, romance-ish. What did you expect going into Fruits Basket?
Slice of life.
Romance-ish.
I didn't even expect. I thought, just the typical like, do you want to walk to school together? I'm like, all right.
And were you pleasantly surprised?
Not until I watched the anime.
Oh, wow, hell
interesting.
Yeah.
I read the manga first, and I was like, all right.
Hell yeah.
I've got that done, and I was like, oh, don't forget to watch all the episodes. Megan sent you the documents. She was very specific.
Yes.
And what you need to watch.
Don't F it up.
And when I watched the anime, I was like, you know what? Actually, this is definitely something I would never do on my own. But it had a couple moments where like that was legitimately funny, and that's fun. And I'm just eating chocolate, and I'm like watching this. I'm like,
best way
to do it. I don't want to, talk too much spoilers, especially up top. Obviously, we're going to be going through volume 1, but I think there will be a section at the end where we get a little more into spoiler territory. Obviously, we don't want to super spoil things for Cody or anybody else who hasn't finished, but there are things that I want to talk about because to me, like Fruits Basket on the surface seems like it could be a shoujo, but it's not just that. It's kind of a fantasy. It's kind of a drama.
It is very dramatic.
It's kind of so many things, and I would put this up there
so many things.
Soma. You're doing a Soma. Yes, just like that.
So
just like
many things. Oh my God, you cracked it.
I should have thought of fruit puns here.
What did you say your fruit soda was?
Well, this came up.
Orange.
I'm gonna bring back the. I'm gonna bring back the Sonas thing.
Kyo does wear.
Thank you, Megan, for appreciating that.
I was like, oh my God, you're wearing a red shirt.
I'm wearing a Fruits Basket shirt.
Shut up. People don't appreciate how it's like I only own like 7 shirts and they're just a different color, and I put thought into which one I'm gonna wear.
Thank you for caring. Thank you for doing the bare
Can
minimum.
you shut up for 5 goddamn
minutes? Guys, don't fight.
But we've been over this. We've been over this, but people don't know. Our fruit sonas, mine is the orange, Josh is the banana, and Megan's is the kiwi.
I like banana better.
Well,
I'm the banana.
You're not the banana. You're not a banana. You can like bananas, but you're not a banana.
So I'm a kiwi?
You're a kiwi.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
you're
the
just
bird
saying
too?
kiwi. No,
not
the bird.
We'll talk about bird sonas later
like
when it
bird.
comes up. But you're the.
But hopefully it never comes up. Also,
but we'll see,
Fruits Basket.
I got yours locked and loaded.
And I don't throw whatever you want at me. Honestly, I couldn't care less.
Oh my God.
Seagull.
You guys are channeling
right.
You should have
Yuki
pretended
and
to be
Kyo
Kyo.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the one who was the guy with the red shirt?
Kyo, did you read? Did you do?
I watched it.
I hope you read it too. Fruits Basket is actually a game. I'm sure you knew, Megan. I don't know if you knew, Cody, but they do mention it in the first volume. Not sure if you read it or not, but it's kind of like what I gather. It's kind of like a combination of like Duck, Duck, Goose and musical chairs a little bit. But I think this series is way more than I think people give it credit for. And if you're like on the fence about it, if you've heard of it, maybe been meaning to watch it, do yourself a favor, read it or watch it. It's a beautiful anime.
I would say watch it, don't read it.
I watched the anime before I read the manga. Now that there's the full story adapted, I don't see, there's a lot of things that they switch around obviously in the manga and anime, but the anime is so good and it's animated beautifully and they literally like just gave the fans just everything that they wanted. It's actually insane.
It was like how Mob Psycho, it's like because the anime takes it to a whole new level. It's like you could read it, but it's just better if you watch it.
That's a really fair comparison because I think they pulled out all the stops when it came to the anime. This is a series that is also like therapeutic, cathartic. It's kind of like for me a little emotionally triggering.
So emotional.
I was like very triggered throughout
season 3
through the whole series. I mean, just like connect with all the characters. It's a beautiful story that has beautiful characters, and it's funny because I'm going to pass the synopsis over to Megan in a second, but part of that is that the Zodiacs and these characters turn into their Zodiac spirit, and that is something that becomes so secondary. That is something that becomes such a part of the background, and I forgot. At a certain point, I forgot who is who. I mean, because it seems like it's a hook. It's there for a hook or to hook you, but it's not important. It's the characters that are important. And if you don't know anything about Fruits Basket, Megan, why don't you read the synopsis?
Fruits Basket tells the story of Toru Honda, an orphaned girl who, after meeting Yuki, Kyo, and Shigure Soma, learns that the 12 members of the Soma family are possessed by the animals of the Chinese zodiac and are cursed to turn into their animal forms when they are weak, stressed, or when they are embraced by anyone of the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, too. It makes a lot of sense.
It's also like, I don't see the stakes, and that seems like you could go your whole life.
You would think.
But if you were Cody, it wouldn't be a threat or an issue at all, actually.
Yeah, that's the joke I make.
And I know. And so you call it a joke, I call it a truth, but that's the difference between me and you.
But there's always a truth and a joke.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Megan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more of the Yuki, you're more of the Kyo. And people like Kyo a lot, actually.
Which one's Kyo?
The red shirt one. Jesus Christ, dude. It's like getting to a point where it's like embarrassing.
Kyo.
Your energy is really off today.
Kyo.
It's really hot today?
Off.
Oh, you agree with Cody?
No, I was just repeating myself.
I do kind of connect with Yuki a little bit more. It sets up this like sort of love triangle, and then it kind of like it all comes crashing
people
down.
When they see like not the fan art, but like the promotional art for like the new 2019 or even the old 2001, they see like a reverse harem type of situation going on, which it's not like at all. Like you think it's gonna be that, and then it slowly just becomes completely different.
Yeah, no,
I was surprised by that there were twists and turns.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were like, oh, they would, and I was also like, they would be good together. And then I'm like, oh, but then other things happen. I'm like, oh, I think those two would be better together. Actually.
See, I was curious to see who Team Yuki or Team Kyo.
Megan, and maybe we'll save the reveal for the end. But do you have someone in mind, Yuki or Kyo, who you think would be a better partner for young Toru Honda?
I have a thought on that.
Okay,
for sure.
I'd love to hear it.
Right now?
Yeah,
not right now. We'll get to it later.
Yeah.
So let's walk through it a little bit. The first volume starts with Toru in her tent. Just doing her best. She's got a picture of her mom in there. She's got all her school books in there. Yeah. She's roughing it. And I respect that. As someone who lived out of his car for a while, I respect Toru.
Oh, yeah. She does it happily.
Yeah.
She got, you find out later how she got in that situation, and she's just like, well, I'll make the most out of it, which is just who she is, because she's the sweetest baby.
Yeah.
Angel.
I like the pose her mom's taking in that picture.
Yeah. Her mom.
Oh, Kyoko.
Her mom seems really cool.
She's rad.
Cool.
She's like rad.
Yeah, she's a dope. She's a dope mom.
She's a dope.
She's a dope. That means that doesn't.
No, not a dope.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
no,
I get what you're saying.
No.
She's the opposite of a dope.
Oh, that's a fun little language thing. If someone is dope, they're cool. But if someone's a dope, they suck.
Yeah, if someone does dope, they got a problem.
Then they're cool.
They're even cooler.
Yeah.
Oh, then they're fucking sick. Yeah. And I think, Toru, I really do view Toru as like a superhero, but her power is kindness, dude, because that is how powerful she is. I mean, she is able to, her optimism and just her spirit and her energy is able to like change systems and dynamics that have been in place for years.
And people don't like that. Someone had coined this phrase. It was like a Mary Sue, which I've never heard before.
I've heard the term, but I don't know why it applies here.
Because I
don't think it does.
They do believe, like some people do not like Toru because she doesn't have any flaws, or they think that they think that she doesn't have any flaws, or they think that she's like the perfect character that just uses kindness for everything. But like that's not true.
Yeah, Mary Sues are also like they have to be like in other works because it comes from fan fiction. There's also a guy term for it, which people act like there isn't. It's called Gary Stew.
Gary Stew?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, so people are like, oh, why is it sex? Like, no, it's not. There's another term.
Gary Stew.
I like that.
But it's for like when a character is inserted, because it came from the world of fan fiction. So someone would write, oh, this is me, by the way, and everyone loves me. And I'm always right. And all the main characters want to date me.
So I took it as like cookie cutter, like no flaws,
I think that's what it's gotten turned into, but I'm just like, I mean, that's not what it means.
I was just putting that out there because I don't feel that way at all.
Toru definitely has flaws, and I mean, you can kind of see them. They're very apparent, like even here in the very beginning when we see her in the tent. Like she doesn't want to be a burden to anybody to a point where she's willing to stay in this tent. We find out the reason why she's there a little bit later.
Oh my God.
But she's taking a walk before I guess she has to go to school, and she comes across this house where she sees Shude there. And yeah,
the way it was done in the anime was way better for me than in the manga. Like even little stuff where you see her like tripping, like stumbling when she's walking, like just little character. I don't know if I couldn't read it because the art style of the manga was like I don't usually see stuff like, oh, that is old.
Yeah.
But
Shoujo.
Yeah, but like reading this, like I have a hard time even seeing what's happening. If they did draw her stumbling, I didn't notice it.
Well, I mean, they do kind of, I mean, it's not super heavy, but it's definitely more prevalent, I think, in the 2001 anime. Because
her just like
the
falling?
shoujo like esque type style like that. See, people don't watch that because they're like it just looks so dated, which I agree with, but I'm just like nostalgic of it.
Oh, I mean, definitely.
But you don't have to watch that to watch the
not at all
2019. Yeah, no.
Something I did like in the manga though was like the author's notes.
Yeah,
and
that was cute.
They're a gamer.
They are a huge gamer. Her name is let me get the mangaka's name.
Cody, maybe you can like reach out to her. And
I did, and I got a something called a cease and desist, which I think it means just like hold on, I'm busy.
Yeah, no, it just means cease for now.
Yeah, cease for now. I don't know what desist means.
No, it's got to mean keep trying.
Yeah,
Natsuki.
like insist. Like
Insist.
Like hold on, but insist. Yeah.
Cease, I insist, you keep trying.
Yeah,
later.
desist that you're insisting. This sis that you're insisting.
Yeah.
Diss it.
Yeah, Megan, we're vamping so you can find
I was about to say it. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Really?
Natsuki Takaya. And
Okay.
she talks about how she really just plays video games and how she was like dumb in school and she was just like, oh, this is what I like. I don't really have anything else to talk about besides video games. So
Some of the one of the questions I thought it, like I usually find the writer's insights like so charming that it'll
Me too.
elevate any work to me.
Mhm.
And usually it'll be like if I don't think like what they're writing is funny, if I see them anytime they talk, they're always like way funnier to me.
Yeah.
But she talked about how like she always names her characters like the same. She names them after herself every time.
Mhm.
And she had like a whole discussion about that, which I was actually kind of looking forward to talking about that.
Maybe we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Because do you have like a set name for character? Because I know you play like Animal Crossing and stuff.
Yeah. Who do I put?
I'll say while you
It's
think
probably
of
like
your,
an anime name or something.
while
I'm
you think
trying
of
to
your answer, I was always the person who named the character in games after myself and made the avatar look like me until like very, very recently, where I started to like create characters.
For this, so you would role play them and give
Yeah,
them,
and it was at that point that I started having more fun playing
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
I name my characters are some variation of Isaac Clarke. He's my favorite video game character. So a character will be Isaac unless they're a mage or a like scientific character. Then I name them Clark. And then so all my save files are just Isaac Clarke, Isaac Clarke. And then
It's probably his password too, so just type that in.
Yeah, steal my email. But yeah, I usually pick the default, and I either just do that and just change their hair to something I like, or if I'm like, oh, I want them to. Once I watched Westworld and they had like a nebbish character who like doesn't look heroic, I really like that of a character not looking like a hero. So I started going in that direction more with customization.
Yeah, I want to say really quick too. Do you have one, by the way?
No.
Oh, you don't have a name?
No.
You just like whatever feels right.
No, yeah.
If I have to have a
in
backup
that
character,
situation.
it's Ezekiel.
I don't like that name. I knew a person named that, and me and him
You knew
didn't
someone named Ezekiel?
Yeah,
How old
you
are
did
you?
too. And you know how old I am, and let's not bring that up here. But I
No,
want to
I
say
do?
too. Yeah, I'll tell you later. I want to say with the art that I felt the same way you felt. I mean, and look, we've had this conversation on the podcast before. I know Klingon means a lot to you.
Oh my God.
But you know, I am someone, and you know, back when I used to read
You're
comic
someone with no
books,
taste?
Ooh.
I have a lot of taste. I'm sorry, I like Fruits Basket. I like other things you've shown
Yeah,
me.
because they're tasteful.
Absolutely.
And you're like, what is this?
They have like a fruity.
So if I
taste.
go to a restaurant and I don't eat one thing on the menu because it's old as shit,
Oh.
does that mean that I don't have taste if I liked everything else?
Well, you should like it because you're probably the same age as it.
And you know what that means?
And
I'm
that's,
refined.
That's a Megan.
know what that
So
means?
okay, so
Do
Klingon,
not leave me
So
hanging.
so
Yeah,
you're
she
saying
almost left you.
yeah, Klingon is refined.
And I you know what we've seen from
Yeah,
Klingon,
kinda
I love
didn't.
it. But art distracts me. Like I get distracted by the art. I mean, I felt the same way about comic books back when I used to read comic books. And
I think
I just want to say
it's
the art
too
with,
many. Like if there's too many lines, it kind of clouds my mind, and I'm not really able to.
Well,
If it's cleaner, I'm able to like.
I-
Oh, look at that! They did
I
this.
think that's a reason why I never picked up the manga. I mean, I wasn't really super into manga when I finished the first season of Fruits Basket. Whenever I did when I was like 12 years old, I just think I might have like looked at a couple chapters and I was just like, eh.
Yeah, I want to say that like because I was already so attached to these characters because of the anime that when I went back to read it, I wasn't as distracted by the art. And I think I could totally see why if you read it first and then watched
That was
it,
just
it would be
like-
a really hard thing to get through.
Now I watched
Not because it's
the
not
anime. I'm like,
beautiful.
oh, cool! Like once the anime is going, I can see it in colors. I'm sure like that's the because it's not even colored. I don't know. I can't tell what's what.
Yeah, and also because like, you know, it is still very similar and it is still the manga is incredibly well written. And obviously there wouldn't be an anime without the manga. But I think it was definitely more palatable in its newer, updated sort of aesthetic. I do want to say too that going back and rereading it after finishing it kind of recently, man, this writer had plans from chapter one. Like there are seeds planted in the first volume, in the first chapter that get paid off at the end. This was not someone who was figuring it out as they went along. They knew exactly what they were doing and every line has purpose. And I respect the fuck out of that.
Yeah, like even finishing, you know, the 33 chapters that the anime covers, like you totally see a character just go like 360, like Shigure, I'm not going to say anything,
Now-
but he is a really good character, just writing wise, story wise.
I still like him at
Kyo,
the end. I still like
Yuki.
him.
It's just
yeah.
Yeah, I know. You know this and The Last of Us. You mentioned a character makes a 360. I think you mean a 180.
Yeah, you mean a 180. Yeah.
Oh, because they don't go back.
If you go 360,
okay,
you're-
180. Okay, yeah, sorry.
You're back.
Thank you for correcting me, Cody.
I mean, he's just getting ahead of the comments.
You're
Thank you for
objectively.
mansplaining for me.
I mean, I did explain
kinda do that.
something you were woman
No.
wrong about.
and to
dare
be fair, you were kind of wrong.
Not kind of. Objectively.
I'm like wearing Toru, but I'm definitely more Kaguya.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Watching that anime, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm surprised. I was like, I've never seen a character that is more Megan.
Yeah.
I was like,
She
how
has a
has
cute
this?
side and she has a violent side.
Yes.
Yeah.
You punch. Megan, for people who don't know, will actively put rings on.
Okay, you
and
make
then
it,
punch.
You've said this before. I do not put rings on just so I can hit Cody.
I have seen her laugh and then go, and then she puts her rings on and then she starts
I've seen
punching.
That's not true.
But Cody, if you're done mansplaining, then we can.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, I'm done mansplaining. I'm gonna manspread.
Oh yeah, dude. What everybody and me have been waiting for.
Yes, she meets these characters. In the
Yeah.
manga, there is this like little subtle thing that made me be like, oh, is it one of these?
Huh.
Yeah. Say it. Yeah.
Because you're introduced to this character and he's like, oh, and a high schooler. I was
Mhm.
like, oh, is this one of those things
Oh,
where it's like,
Shigure?
yeah.
Yeah, in the 20s, in this 2001 one, he's like way more creepy than he is. It's like he sings a song about high school girls and he's happy to see them and yeah, it's a whole thing.
This is one of those things where on every level that I have seen, the anime just made it better.
I mean, the anime is really good. I did find that the manga was very similar.
It was. They did change a lot of
They
things.
cut
though.
some things out here and
But
there.
the 2019 is definitely more, I think, faithful than the 2001.
Yeah.
Just in some different aspects. I mean, they both like Stitch and stuff, but
But she stumbles into a house and there's an older guy who's like, oh, you're in a high schooler too?
Yeah.
And I was really
he's
worried.
so hot.
Yeah. I mean, Shigure is so.
Shigure,
hot.
oh my god, when he hits that suit,
I mean, you know,
when he gets in that suit, oh my god.
This is a series with lots of eye candy.
Lots of eye candy. Oh
I
my
I
god.
like that author's note of she likes drawing guys who like don't have muscle definition.
I respect that.
I
Yeah.
respect it in
So,
some
like,
senses.
fine,
Yes,
yeah,
I respect it in every sense.
I respect it in this story.
Wow.
But you know, there's some other stories that I do like.
And
I do like the muscle
man,
definition.
not every man is like defined.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that I'll accept it for this story because I love her so much. And I respect her as an artist and as a writer.
Wow.
And Kyo, we'll get into that because I do
Cody,
have
you
some.
opened up a can of worms.
I
I
do
thought it was
have
just-
some conflicts about.
You know what you did.
I was like, finally, Josh.
And I want to bring
an
this
artist
out
for you.
I want to bring this out for the audience when we talk about it. But you know, when you grow up with a character that you adore, and in some cases might have a crush on, when does it not become okay to love them as much as you did because you were past their age? Fictional characters.
Right. That's a conversation that you want to have.
Yeah,
Right now?
Not creepy. No, I just wanted to bring
So
that
let me
up.
just get it straight real quick, what you're asking. Let me just get it straight. So you're saying, like, is it okay that when you were a little girl, you liked a fictional character that was like in his late 20s?
No, I'm talking about Kyo.
Oh, the other way. So you're
But
saying.
I do like.
Oh. So you're saying, like, when is it now that you're an older woman? Is it okay to still like a fictional high school boy?
Would you not be like, if you like had photos of you with your significant other and you went through when you guys were younger, it would be wrong to be like, oh, because if he aged, you're like aged with him. I mean,
And also, not
unless
to
you're
spoil,
like,
not to spoil
you're like,
anything.
well, them now younger.
Uh-huh.
Not to spoil anything, but there are a lot of characters that do grow by the end of the series, in age.
Uh-huh.
So I think currently,
okay.
where they're at currently,
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
Okay.
Like if you went through your significant, it was, you know what? You like,
That was dicey.
I won.
Yeah, you
It
get to
comes-
have him.
yeah, there's been like, oh, like if significant others, like I want to see a picture of you when you were a kid.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think they're doing anything weird with that. So
No.
yeah. So like, what would be the?
No one's saying hubba hubba. They're just
I'm
like,
like,
looking at-
ooh,
Yeah.
what happened to this?
Oh,
Yeah.
If you were
God.
doing, then it would be wrong.
Okay.
Then we'd have to stop you.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And Shigura, I'm not past Shigura's age now, at this moment in the story.
Yeah.
No, but he still is a hunk, and he sees Toru. He's got his paperweights, the Zodiac paperweights, and Toru explains to him that she's familiar with the story of the Zodiac because her mother used to tell her the story, and that in this story there was a cat that was tricked by a rat, and was told that the banquet was going to be the following day than it was actually on. And ever since she heard that story, she's always felt bad for the cat and always wanted to be the cat. She's, I think, canon, she's Year of the Dog, but she's always wanted to be Year of the Cat. And Shigure makes a little comment. He's like, I wonder if you'll still feel that way after you meet him. And she's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. It was great because I didn't pick up on that.
So you didn't
Yeah.
read the synopsis before you?
No, I
Okay,
like
good,
going into
yeah.
things blind.
Yeah.
Like
It was a great reveal.
I do view it as like reveals and stuff. That like there is this feeling when you find out like, oh, there's some, like I like that feeling.
Oh yeah, when I watched the anime when I was younger, I had no idea. So I was like,
yeah.
they do like the first episode, and I was like, what? I
And
didn't expect that at all.
I like the idea that they like there's like a folk story about why the cat didn't make it into the animal
Yeah.
wheel because it's like, and it is like, wow, like why rats got in there but cats didn't.
Yeah, what is very interesting, and not to spoil anything, but I think if there is a side of this story that you would really appreciate, because I know you're not a slice of life guy, which is fine, but there is a element to the fantasy of that story, that mythology that gets explored even further.
Seeing the two,
and that's really fun.
the two guys interacting alone, like them fighting and stuff, already got me. I was actually like, oh, I like this.
Yeah,
Then even the music picks up and stuff. I was actually like, I mean, because I vaguely remember being told that Fruits Basket involves magic and it involves like combat, and that went in a completely different direction in my head. But when it kind of started getting, I'm like, yeah, this is what I would want.
Yeah, and a lot of psychological warfare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you think the casting was good for the characters?
If like listening to the voice actors, I feel like this feels like exactly what slice of life voice actors are.
Yeah, I think they're.
I
Perfect.
mean, they're the standard. They started it all back in 2001. Like these guys are the goats of all goats.
well, I mean, since we are talking about zodiac animals,
Well,
they
they're
could be.
I
Year
don't
of the
think-
goat.
There's
Year of
no
the goat.
goat.
Yeah,
there's like
Sheepy.
isn't there a ram?
yeah, those Year of the Ram.
Yeah,
right?
sheepy. Not a goat though.
Yeah, the same.
They're
Same
not
thing.
the same at all.
I mean, the dragon is a seahorse. We can make some.
Is the dragon a seahorse?
I mean, spoilers, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We can.
Well, that
we can
is-
give
okay,
some,
I don't want to say anything.
But also,
think
because otherwise, I do feel like whoever gets the dragon in the zodiac sign kind of wins, right?
that's.
Yeah, but they. I don't even think this is a huge
I'm
spoiler,
confused on what you think.
because they don't turn into an actual dragon when they get hugged. I mean, this is like a.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Trust me. I don't. We'll talk about it more in the spoiler section.
I'm confused. Okay. Anyway.
But yes, he finds the stuff, tells her the story.
Much left to spoil.
Toru's mom. We get a little bit more insight into who she was, why she's no longer around, and she got in an
Kind of
accident.
reminded me of a grown-up version of the main character from Promised Neverland.
The mother from Promised Neverland.
No, the redhead girl.
Oh, Emma.
Yeah.
Emma.
Mm.
Yeah, Toru's mom is a little bit. I don't know why, because maybe a lot of people will throw Toradora and Fruits Basket together a little bit because the moms are kind of delinquents, I think, in both of those stories. But Kyoko's she's a badass. Like she's not like Toru's wholesome and sweet, but her mom is like a gangster.
Yeah, she
and
was
I think
a
at one
gangster.
point, literally a gangster.
Yeah. She was like a Tokyo Manji. Like
A
that's
little
what
bit like, yeah.
that's what her mom
I was
was.
wondering why the scenes kept cutting.
No, she was in like a biker gang and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, Mama, you're in a gang? Yes, it's the, and you're like, oh, and then it just cuts to a shot of
And that's
birds.
That's,
Yeah.
that's why their relationship's so cute because Toru, like people meet Toru later on and they realize who her mom is and they're like, how? She's like,
Yeah.
And it's just adorable.
We find out that like not only did her mom die in an accident, but that her dad died when she was young too. And so already we have this character that's been through so much. She's had a death twice, father and then later mother separate times, which is like, I mean, it would be hard either way, but to have it to like be getting over the death of your father and then for it to happen to your mother, I mean, you're getting hit with the worst kind of double whammy.
I know, and she's just so sweet.
And she's saying that she's only in the tent. She's confessing this to Shigure that she's only in the tent because her grandfather, who she's currently living with, his house is undergoing renovations, and it's going to take. She just needs somewhere to stay until the renovations are done. But she doesn't want to be a burden on anybody, and she doesn't want to ask her friends, and she doesn't really have anybody else besides
it felt like
her friends.
It came across clear in the anime where it was like, you gotta stop.
We gotta stop touching the mic.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. You're really starting.
I'm literally just moving, and he's like,
off, Megan.
I'm like, sorry, sorry.
He's doing it. He's looking out for the audio listeners.
I'm sorry, audio listeners.
I'm sure they would be madder if it was me or Josh.
yeah, for sure.
I feel like in the anime it just came across clearer to me where he was like, because in the manga I was like, wow, this guy's like a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
But in
the grandpa,
of like,
I agree 100%.
In the anime, I don't know if I just missed the line where he was just like, oh, do you like have someone else you could stay with because it's gonna be kind of crowded, and she lies because she doesn't want to be a burden and like stay with like these people she also doesn't know. So he came across way better in the anime.
You're 100% right. When I reread it, I was like, oh my God, this is how they're treating the grandpa, because they don't give a lot of context to why the grandpa's acting sort of the way he is. And he's even calling Toru Kyoko, which in the anime is very sweet. But in the manga, with zero context to who he is, you're like, well, that's kind of fucked up. He's calling his granddaughter after his dead daughter's name, like his dead daughter's name. And so they really do the grandpa kind of dirty, I think, in the manga a little bit, but he really does later on show in the first volume, he does show who he really is and that he really does care.
It also did like make it more tragic on her end as far as like, you know, like going in that direction for the story, which I did kind of like, which was like, because it also made it like easier to not want to be associated with these people. Because it was like, you know, like, oh, like I kind of got passed around between family. And then
so that's why I'm saying this was very triggering.
And then, you know, you could like the impression I get in the manga was the grandpa was like, I mean, I kind of don't want to take care of you either. Do you have another option? You should go do that.
It's funny.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can't stay here. I'm doing renovation. It just seemed like that's an excuse he's coming up with.
Yeah. And it's like usually in anime, like if this wasn't even an option, like she easily could have just been like, and Toru lives by herself in an apartment, like every other high school student that just lives by themselves, no parents at all.
Rent in Japan is like a bowl of rice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how it is.
A bowl of rice.
That's kind of how it is in Toradora too. I mean, Taiga's living by herself.
Yeah, but she's rich.
Yeah, her parents are rich. But at least they say that. They mention that.
Yeah. But like, I mean, like, I'm glad that it didn't just happen because it is kind of important for her to have that moment later on with her family. So that was cool.
So I like it's more pleasant in the anime, but I do feel like it did kind of lose a bit of like a justification to leave that so easily.
Well, already, I mean, you know, I think that it's so real. Like you're saying that they don't just put her in an apartment by herself and like you're saying, like as someone who got like sent to live with other people, like it is a burden. Like you feel like a burden.
You can tell that they're pretending, and they kind of don't even want to pretend. They want you to know that they're pretending.
Like there's a point where I like totally 1,000,000% relate to Toru and other characters throughout the series. I mean, to a point where like you're listening to people outside of a house that's not yours that you're staying in because the people are kind enough to let you stay there, and you're listening to them be happy and laugh and have a nice relationship and dinner, and you're just like, I can't leave this room because I don't know what that is. And I don't know if they're going to let me be a part of that. And I don't want to like even ask to be a part of it. So you just sort of lock yourself away.
You just game.
And you just start peeing in bottles because you don't even want to use the bathroom.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then they find the bottles and then they kick you out. But hey.
They're like, we need an excuse. Can we say it was the pee bottles?
Her renovations were my pee bottles. Yeah.
Yeah, look, we can't have
it turns into fucking the complete opposite of who Toru is, or like, we heard that you were staying with, and then they're just like, he can't. I'm like, these fucking people are assholes.
Well, the grandpa, you know, later on when, he has this moment with Toru, it is revealed he's like, I'm not telling you can't live here. I want you to live here if you want to live here, but I don't think you do.
No, yeah.
And so he is kind. It just takes a while in the manga for that to come through, I think. But
totally.
Yeah, then we see
she meets the old one, the one who's like really into high school girls in the manga. I really like how in the anime he's like, oh, a teenager.
Well, in the anime a little bit too.
In the 2001 version,
even in the 2019,
even the 2019, but he is very adamant about liking high school girls.
Yes, here comes
here comes all the comments.
Okay to be into high school.
No, it's just that's I guess the character. I don't know.
Look, I think Shigure is a very complex character, and I don't think he is just like. I think, without spoiling anything, I think that his motivations.
It was changed in the manga. In the anime, the new one at least, they definitely dialed it down in that direction.
A bit.
Yeah, a bit.
A bit.
But yeah, then the two of them, Yuki and Shugure, are walking around their property, and they see Toru's tent because Toru lied to them and told them like, yeah, I live around here, and I don't think Shigure said it in the moment, but he's like, we own this land.
Yeah.
You're also introduced to the white-haired one.
Well, that's Yuki. Yeah, Yuki. Yeah.
Which I like how he like smacks the guy and like is like, oh, you dirty old man. Which I like because it immediately gave me a thing like, oh, so this isn't going the direction I think it is, which is glorifying this kind of relationship.
Yeah.
No, he kind of does that a lot. They kind of put him in place a lot for that. Kind of stuff.
So that was like, I was skeptical up until that moment. So that like for me, it was sort of like, oh, okay, all right, it won't be that bad.
Yeah,
he's Shigure's a hoot.
And I also was like, oh, clearly this is going to be her romantic interest, which is why I liked that the story was not what I was like, oh, is that because I was like, oh, is she gonna like, oh, here's this high schooler moves in with this grown man, and it's sweet because his wife died.
No,
it's sweet, and I'm like, I haven't seen that many stories like that, but there's a lot out there.
Sure, but this is not one of them.
Yes.
This is not one of them.
They kind of catch her in her lie, and they invite her back to their house for a little bit.
Wait, they don't just catch her in the lie. They did what got me to be like, all right, I'm going to like definitely pay attention to this, which is they laugh.
Oh yeah, Shigure laughs immediately, so and then they go back home and he's still laughing, and then he asks like a genuine question. Yuki's like, "Oh, you're done laughing now."
Yeah, that was when I was like, "All right, I have no idea what mood this is gonna be in, but it's definitely not only is it like not gonna be necessarily the kind of story this is, but they're kind of like taken in a direction I haven't even seen before."
Yeah. The comedic, points in the story always hit.
They all of them landed.
All of them land, and it is a fun dynamic. Like you believe that these people are family, and it's great.
Yeah, it is great. And outside of them being zodiac animals, I mean, a lot of it is grounded, and it does feel like real a lot of the time, which I really do appreciate. But then Shigure has this like he hears a dog howling, and he kind of notices, I don't know how this came through in the manga, but he says to everybody there was just a landslide. And I think Yuki or Toru's like, how do you know that? And I don't know if this came across in the manga, because I kept putting myself in the shoes of someone who had no idea what was going on. And it is a little confusing.
Totally.
Or there are things that you might not pick up on.
I mean, if you don't read the synopsis, you don't know what's coming. You have no idea that these people are connected to this at all.
Yeah.
So I think it's good.
I did because it was kind of a mystery at the beginning. And I don't know if I remembered it different, but like in the manga, they were there for the landslide.
Well, they come back after they're done
and
laughing.
She like pulled out of the way at the
no, that's something else, because they're there they find her, then they take her back, then he hears the landslide, and then they don't know that it happened by her tent. They're just kind of like guessing that it might have. So then they go back to check it out, and then she starts digging through it because her mom's photo was in there.
Yeah, and she's like freaking out, and they're like, "It's okay, like we'll come back tomorrow, like we'll figure it out." And then this is where I was like putting you said, putting yourself in the shoes of someone who has no idea what's going on. Because we have that scene where he's like, I'm going to go back and like look for the picture. Chiguro's like, what do you mean, by yourself? And then he's like, who do you think you're talking to?
Yeah.
And Yuki has the rats. Like,
he's the rat catcher.
I was imagining just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
What did you think in that moment?
I was like, these are ghosts.
Ghosts. Wow.
Oh.
These are maybe a werewolf is going on in here.
Oh.
Maybe this is
What's going on?
Little
in here?
tiny werewolves.
yeah.
Little tiny werewolves.
I was like, this could. They're Shinobi
rats.
or whatever. These are
Shinobi.
Shinobis.
Shinobi. Yeah, get
These
it.
could be anything.
Shinobi.
This is. I was honestly like, I recommend going in here not knowing.
That's
Well, I mean, I
interesting.
think that is
yeah.
probably super fun to do.
Yeah.
Then Toru, they tell her not to go because she's like she's kind of sick. And they tell her like, don't go. You're overworking yourself. You're pushing yourself too hard. Take a nap. Rest here. She has a dream of her mom, and she has a dream of like a little boy giving her a hat, which this hat will come back.
Which hat?
This hat.
This hat.
will come back over and over and over and will be a very important part.
Very
of the story later
important.
on. Yeah.
Very. Shooketh.
Shooketh.
Yeah.
Who knew you could have so many twists and turns with a hat?
I know.
But
you could turn in the front or the back
that's a great point.
or the side.
And then we finally meet Kyo. It took a while, but we finally meet our
Yes.
boy,
My
Kyo,
boy.
who Cody is cosplaying as today.
Yeah.
I know. I noticed it in the beginning of it. So I was like,
This is the thing where sometimes I'm like, it's dumb if I point it out.
no, it's
No, it's not.
not.
It's
I'm like,
cute.
because I am like, all right, I have a red shirt, I have a green shirt, and I have a blue shirt. Ooh, a red, that'll work.
Yeah, and it works. And Kyo comes in through the roof. He is aggressive. He's angry. And truly, if we are, let's say, if you're Toru, Cody, you're definitely Kyo.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And I, by default, I have to be Yuki, but he's got his charm. Let's be clear.
Sure.
And he comes crashing through, and him and Kyo and Yuki have this very contentious relationship. Kyo is very aggressive towards Yuki, wants to fight him, and really hates his guts.
Hates his guts.
I don't even think, Toru does not know anything about their secret yet either. So to her, this is just all like a boy just crashed through the roof. And it's like when I think some of the debris hits her and she falls into Kyo that he transforms into a cat.
And I love.
Which is like, I would be like, this is where the spoiler mark would be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is a story that's been out forever, and I think everybody knows about Fruits Basket. Megan, but this is your.
I mean, it's too late. It's already been.
Yeah, we already said
You
it
guys
at the
win.
beginning.
I mean, trust me, there might be a spoiler section at the end though, because I don't want to ruin it for you if you want to keep watching it, but there's some stuff I got to talk to Megan about. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have a noise.
No, we already did it. I think it's fine.
Oh, okay,
but
yeah.
but I think
Yes.
if you don't know anything about the series, getting into it, how did you like?
I was
feel when
like,
that happened?
oh, she
how did
has
you
the.
react?
I was like, she has the power to turn people she hugs into animals.
You're really just all over.
I was just like, I have no idea. I was like, okay, sure, yeah, she's probably like a curse or something. Anyone she hugs is like turns into a cat. That's what I thought. I'm like, oh, and then he's gonna be a cat the whole time. And then that's where I was at until they really explained what was going on. I was like as lost as she was. I think she said like, did I do that? I'm like,
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
you probably your mom was magical or something.
She's
Yeah,
like, where did
magical
this
ancestry.
cat come from?
Yeah.
We're just like, God damn.
We got to take him to the hospital.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, and then she falls into Shigure and Yuki, and they turn into a dog and a rat.
And I was still like, oh, okay, so like depending on who they act like, they turn into animals based on their personalities.
And then I think at this point, Shigure just tells her straight out.
Straight up.
Because
Yeah.
they're just talking.
Because they can talk. She's like, you can talk, animals.
And I like, there was like a line where it's like, if you guys didn't also get caught, we could have played it off.
Yeah.
We
Kyo
could've-
says that to them.
Yeah.
You damn rat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he basically explains to her that they are, cursed, that they are reincarnated, or that throughout their lineage, members of their family are possessed by the spirits of the zodiac, and that there are more of them, and that they are the Somas, and that they are a family.
I'm sorry. I literally can't. I have to
And-
adjust.
Move your neck. I don't.
Yeah, she's just saying it the whole time. And that they are, they've been hiding this for a long time. This has been in their family for a very, very long time. And they think that they can get away if they talk to the family head, Akito, that they think that they might be able to maybe keep Toru in the loop. But there's a high chance that she's going to have to get her memory wiped, which has happened to people before. And Yuki even talks to Shigure about that. And he says, Do you think they're going to wipe her memory? And he says, like, there were way more people involved last time. I think we might be okay this time. But then it's also sort of revealed later on that Shigure and the head of the house, Akito, might be concocting something. But it's kept super vague.
Yeah, super vague. And you kind of see, like, in the beginning, like, Akito's character and, like, how they speak to Yuki, and you're like, huh. And it is a mystery in Volume 1, so I won't give too much away. But yeah, the head of the family is very interesting character.
Do we want to talk about our Zodiac Sonas now?
I mean, let's get through this.
Zodiac Somas.
Zodiac Somas.
Yeah. We'll get through the first volume
one,
and
Cody.
then we'll definitely talk about that. Also, like, this is what I'm talking about, planting seeds. There's another, big scene here where it's Kyo versus Yuki, and they're really going at it, and they're really telling you why they're going at it. And, now Toru's let in on the fact that is it because, the cat tricked the mouse or the
cat's out of the bag.
The cat is out of the bag now. And we find out that, like, there are things that happen in the finale that I, as a audience member, watched and thought, did they just like set this up recently? Like, did they start planting these seeds because they knew that this was gonna be how it ended? But like way later? No, all the way back in Volume 1, there are seeds planted here and things that Kyo and Yuki feel towards each other and things that Yuki tells Toru. I mean, the intention behind every word is amazing.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Phenomenal mangaka. Like, everything was thought out. Everything was planned. There was no, like, just doing it because, this would be a cute thing for a character to do. Mm-hmm. It's like, you looking at it, you'd be like, oh, yeah, this is just a cute scene. No, it's very deep in the lore of the Soma household.
Yeah, and speaking of the Soma household too, Akito allows Toru to keep her memories, and then we also find out that Kyo is going to, who has also, they've noted that has been missing for a long time, and he's been in the mountains and he's been training, and who hates Yuki, is going to be moving in and going to their school now.
Yeah, that's where we get Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
That's when Sugar Ray comes in.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. I was on board for the Zodiac thing. And
when he gets his suit and he makes Kyo sign the waivers that he had no idea about because he wants to go to an all boys high school, which in Cody's defense would make his life way easier because he wouldn't have to deal with girls trying.
Well, I mean, I think Cody's joke was that nobody of the opposite sex would ever touch him. Yeah.
Towards him. Okay, so yeah.
And he calls it a joke, but
yeah.
No. It's a joke.
Okay, people know.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like just a better version of what they do in Twilight.
It's a little Twilighty at times, but I mean that as a compliment because I think there is a charm to Twilight. I don't care who you are. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece, but I do think Fruits Basket might be. Mm-hmm. But there are some similarities.
If they were like, we're gonna go to an all goth, all above 30 high school. You'd be like, yeah, that seems like a good plan for you vampires who are way above the age of teenagers.
Yeah.
We just hang out with teenagers for eternity. Yeah, all right.
Sick, dude. But I'll save this for later too, but I also get some other vibes, but that's going to be a whole tangent, so I'll skip it. But Kyo also, because like he's been like standoffish and he's been kind of like, for lack of a better word, he's been mean to Toru. Mm-hmm. He has this moment where he like apologizes to her and he has tried to earlier. And we realize when we finally see that Kyo is this like troubled youth.
Tsundere.
He's a tsundere for sure.
Classic tsundere. I love a good male tsundere. We don't get him often, but when we do, we got Kyo, we got Levi, we got CL Phantom High, we got Yuri Plasensky from Yuri on Ice, we have Tomoe from... the list goes on, but they're so good. That's probably why I love Kyo so much because he's so cute when he gets flustered and he's just like, "Oh yes, I want to say sorry, but I can't." I'm just like,
but he is so conflicted. He's going through so much emotionally that you can't help but connect with him, be charmed by him, and want him to win. And
it's also he's the cat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I'm also like, well, yeah, like according to legend, you got screwed. Mm-hmm. So I'm like his rivalry with the rat makes sense. Cause like, oh, did he ruin your, like, yeah, he like
I mean, him personally didn't, but growing up, you'd be like, "You're the reason why." It's like I didn't personally do it, but it's just who I got in the deck of cards. I guess.
Yeah, the deck.
The deck.
I knew you were gonna.
The Zodi deck.
Mm-hmm.
The Zodi deck. The Zodi decks.
Zodi deck killer.
The Zodi deck killer.
You
yeah. Kind of look
like the Zodiac killer.
And you should remember that next time you want to come at me.
Sinister, dude.
Oh my god, I didn't notice.
Yeah, now you're scared.
I told you I was cosplaying for this episode. I've been doing that for years.
Cosplaying as a regular member of society.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's cosplaying as a functioning.
Functioning what?
Human.
There we go. Well, you're not doing a very good job.
I said cosplaying.
Well, your cosplay.
It's a cheap budget.
Cosplay. Yeah. Some cosplays are
Cosplay is
elaborate.
cosplay. You shouldn't shame anyone for not having more money.
Yeah.
I'm not. How did you flip that? How did you do that? It's because you know what it is? All he did, by the way, it was just his tone. His words made no sense. No. It was just his tone. And you couldn't help but jump ship.
Yeah, I went after cosplay and the craft of it. And
she wound up on your team.
And it worked. Yeah. Now, you're too familiar with my tricks at this point. But I,
the rat, have a long history of dealing with the cat.
And the tricks.
Which are for kids.
And speaking of kids, this story's got a lot of them.
The story's about children.
The story is about high school children.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
there's a rabbit in this.
There is a rabbit.
There's that's the best part about this series is just you get to meet the members and the Soma family, and and they're all different, and they all have something about them that is like they're such good characters.
Amazing. Some of the best. We also get this little nugget again, seeds for the future.
This is also, I don't know, but this is like the best artwork Megan has ever done in her notebook.
I think so.
Everything Megan does is fantastic and great.
You can never see it.
I know, you can't see it that well, but there it is. It's very...
I drew Kyo's flustered face, and I drew
and then she drew
just drew a lot of Kyo.
Yeah, she's like, I have a favorite character. Can you guess who? I'm like, let me just look at the one character you...
Yeah, you I don't think there's any Yuki in there at all. That's kind of funny.
No, I mean, I bought Kyo for reason.
And now he's an investment.
He's an investment in my life. I know. Yeah. Never selling him though. But yeah.
Yeah, and so Yuki, confesses that he does because he sees Kyo in the school and they're playing a card game. I'm gonna kind of speed through a little bit of these things and then get to the bigger points. But he sees Kyo like playing games with everybody reluctantly, like he doesn't want to. He's kind of being forced to, but he does sort of give, and he does start to let his guard down a little bit, and Yuki envies that in him, which again seeds. Yuki also reveals his secret base to Toru when there's a not a tsunami, but it's what is it?
Typhoon. Small typhoon. It wasn't
typhoon.
That was one of those examples of the humor like really hitting, where she just goes like, a secret base. I was like, that is really funny. Like something about it for some reason. I'm like, I feel like normally these jokes would not have landed so well.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, it's hilarious and it's really well written, but I'm like really surprised that Cody liked all the humor.
Yeah, and all I'll say is treasure those moments, Cody, because they will be ripped.
They'll be ripped out of your heart, and you'll want to.
The fruit will spoil.
Yes,
the fruit will spoil.
Right now, the fruit is ripe.
Oh! I shouldn't put all my fruit in one basket.
There you go. It's usually eggs, but I like what you did.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
No, I like what you did.
I just gotta say, Toru is just so adorable in the manga too. Like she's just so cute. She's just that's it.
I mean, she's one of my favorite characters ever. She's so wholesome. Don't you dare
talk about my
talk
Toru.
about her. Talk about her in any sort of sexual way ever.
Oh no! She's a wholesome. She's an
I
angel.
know, and I'm saying that to you.
I'm not the one who does.
Wow.
Anyway, so then we meet
you and Megan do that.
We meet Kagura, who is also
a picture
part of
a guy who like can turn into like a monster.
Okay.
And
well, let's not go there
today.
He
can grow like 4 arms.
Okay, don't go there.
Everybody has their thing. Are you trying to horn her up right now?
Yeah, you're trying to.
I'm trying to prove a point.
Me?
I'm not shaming you. I'm pointing something out.
I think it's fine. I think you can love who you want to love.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry that not everybody feels
Don't
that way.
mimic what I just did. It was good.
He's trying to get me on his side again.
And she did do it, which is crazy.
No, I agree.
Shit on cosplay.
I agree.
And she jumped on your team.
I said thank you, and I agree with you. And you shouldn't judge me. And I was.
But when Cody did it, you were like, yeah, and like you know,
because you're bad at it.
No.
You don't believe the faces you're doing. I can tell you don't believe
it's
what you're saying.
It's because I know what I'm saying is bullshit. Like when you do it and what you say.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And that's what he's so good at doing.
Okay.
Kaguya is a part of the Zodiac too, and she's in love with Kyo.
Kyo.
Yeah, oh, so this is the Megan character.
Yeah. You like her.
Yeah.
I like her.
She's an amazing character, and she's a fun character, and she's got her quirks, she's got her charm. She's also a member of the Zodiac. Toru wants to guess. Talk about a moment of comedy that really, really works for me was when Toru's trying to guess the whole time, and then she finally transforms, and then Toru.
And then, she's like, "Oh, of course, because of this." And the guy is going like, I mean, there's no
like it doesn't matter now that she's transformed.
Yeah,
you don't act like you're solving it.
Yeah, I know. And then just that moment of, like you like again, like taking your expectations and just like completely changing them. Like when she comes in and she's like, "Oh my god, you made me so worried. She's just like so cute." And then she's like, "You liar!" And she just starts punching the shit out and like wrecking the whole house. And it's just, and also again when Kyo's just like, when she's saying like, "I'll love you forever, like I'll love you more than Toru loves you, blah blah," and even when you go to your form, like, and he just like covers her mouth and he's like,
she says
"Stop."
True form.
Yeah, he says, "Stop talking," and she's like, "Do you just tell me what to do?"
Yeah, and that's another thing. Pay attention to form.
True form, which was like what?
Which another crazy development.
Because I like that too, because it was in the direction of like, oh yeah, he was left out of Zodiac. Just like she was left out of the fruit basket. So I'm like,
she was called the rice ball.
Yeah, and then he's the cat. And it's like, oh, they were both the outcasts of their groups. And I'm like, oh, they'll be together. And who comes in to ruin it? But someone who is like, I mean, she is pretty good for him. So it's one of those things where I'm like, well, I mean, I was like, at first like, oh, that really sucks. But I was like, I mean, they should.
Well, she's also
good.
Together. She's also good for him too, in the sense that she can embrace him. And he won't transform.
That was such a thing of like, oh man, if you're like in that room when they're like, and I can do things you never could. And
She
competition.
She can. You see, it's
it was like, man, you lost. I mean, I'm sorry, but you lost that one.
You see later, like, I mean, they're like cousins. Some of them aren't related, but like they've grown up together. But it is like, if you're cursed, you might as well just get with someone you could.
It's 2021.
Yeah, I mean,
step cousin.
And their lineage is so spread out. I mean,
and it's like, I mean, you're a pig, and then he's like a cat. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, we're not talking about animal form. We're talking about.
Well, I mean, why not? If you have the ability, to transform,
it's a part of their lives.
Stop it!
You're telling me that if you could transform into an animal, you wouldn't.
It's not
try
even. It's not even gonna come up.
No.
Yeah, you're never gonna have a conversation at least about it.
Oh my god, you guys.
No,
and I'm not saying that it'd be like an animal. It'd be like you'd both be animals.
It's just
Megan, we're not saying you'd take turns.
Yeah,
that'd be weird.
No, that's not what I meant.
Why are you bringing this up?
No,
it's like, was this like I'm talking about
head? I'm talking about animal and animals still because they're different animals.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not saying it'd be good.
Yeah, we're not saying it'd be right even.
But it would come up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I just think it's a conversation that should be had.
It's like, I don't know if they're even, I think they might be immortal for all I know. It's like thousands of years, it's not going to like, hey.
Come up.
Yeah.
Just talk about it.
But
communication.
Sorry if that's like a foreign concept to you.
Okay.
Anyway, we're almost through the first volume. Grandpa's house is ready. And yes, and that's not good because Toru's kind of sent back to live with what we find out. Although the grandpa is a nice guy, the family, fuck them, dude. They suck. They suck hard.
They suck so bad. Like, I just want to slap all of them.
They should suck lemons.
They should suck lemons because lemons aren't fruit, are they? For the sake of the thing.
What do you mean? They are a fruit, but it's sour. And that's an expression.
But only fruit can come into the basket.
I get that, but like a fruit.
Couldn't you just lie? And
No, the line require because I'm already doing something,
right?
And then you want me to lie to make yours work?
Yes,
you're too much, man.
Yes,
you're asking too much for
exactly
me.
what I want. Anyway, sorry for that.
I will never lie about it. I didn't. Nothing went over my head. Don't make that noise.
Are you saying that it went over your head?
No.
All right. Anyway, yeah, they're being really mean to her, and they're basically saying that like one of their son wants to be a detective, and so or a cop or something.
Yeah, like that would matter.
Like that would fucking matter.
Tarnish the reputation of this cop.
They sent detectives to go spy on her, and they found out she was living with guys, and they're like, "Did you do anything indecent in there?"
I mean, not saying anything, but like she left to go be homeless in a tent, and then they find out that she's with 3 men. And she's in high school. I'm like, yeah, my family would probably be like, "What are you doing?"
That's a legitimate concern, but I don't think that's what. Yeah, I don't think that's what they were.
No, they're being like assholes about it.
Well, and also,
like she didn't have anywhere to stay. What the fuck?
And also, yeah, he's, strange men, but like 2 of them are her classmates. Yeah. So it's like friends.
You
from
got
school.
a house with your classmates. I mean,
yeah,
the fact that we can do that at all.
Let you stay with them.
Yeah,
like that's they're jerks.
Yeah, they're jerks.
And we wanted to make sure you were pure enough to stay here.
Yeah, what? And he's like, oh, the cop is like, oh, you like tell us what you did or whatever. He's like, did you do anything bad? And that's when Grandpa's like,
yeah.
And I was like,
was that scene in the manga?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the grandpa
like,
has his whole like sort of monologue moment where that's where he kind of tells her like, you don't deserve this basically, and how Toru's dad used to talk to Kyoko like that too, and say like, you're meant for, I can't wait to see you kind of flourish outside of here. Like here, you're not who you really are. You're not being who you really are. You're not allowed to really grow and change. And he really gives this like beautiful speech. And Toru, the complexities of what she feels is she is like thinking about everything she has. She's like, I was in a tent. My classmates offered me a place to stay. Now my grandfather is giving me a room and a roof over my head. She's like, I should feel grateful. She's like, but I don't. Like, not that she doesn't, but like she's like, but I don't want to be here.
Yeah, she's like, I want to go home.
I want to go home.
Aww.
Hard hitting.
It's like, I don't have to pay rent if I just do all of the chores.
Oh yeah, they really make her a slave.
Yeah, I know. They're like, you're gonna cook and you're gonna clean for us. Thank you.
Yeah, and the boys, the Zodiac boys, are just watching through the window the whole time.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, not yet. It's
so funny.
Yeah, they bust in and they rescue old Toru.
Oh yeah, they do. And then Yuki just flicky.
Yuki flickies?
Look, Yuki flickies the you don't like flickies?
It just feels weird coming out of my mouth.
Okay, if he flicks.
No, you can say it. I can't say it.
Okay, so he flickies the guy and they see the glasses because he's just like, oh, they were guys, like blah blah. Toru said to talk some shit. And then he's just like,
he realizes that one of them was like in disguise or something.
In disguise.
No, I don't think in disguise, but I think that like, I don't know. I think she's just, I don't know. She's just being a jerk. The family is.
Yeah, the mom, and then they're like, because they come in and they're like, oh my god, he's hot. They're both hot because everyone. I mean, all of them. There's a reason why they're all, I think, attractive because they have this curse. Like all of the family are like beautiful people, and everyone is like, who are these beautiful people? They just stand out from a crowd. The beautiful people.
You think they're beautiful because of the curse?
I think that would play a part in it. I think it would be like a double-edged sword where you're just like gorgeous, but you can't have a relationship with anyone that lasts longer than couple.
I mean, I'm not. So for Josh, it wouldn't be an issue.
Why? Explain it.
Well, first of all, lasting the time it takes for a hug to be finished, you're already solid there. Second of all, a relationship past a couple weeks, also pretty solid. So you combine these factors, and then it's like, what, you turn into like a cat?
Yeah. Cody, some would say I'm already cursed. Different kind of cursed,
Cursed with knowledge.
Yeah, sure. And whatever curse I got, you got too.
But that's neither here nor now and then.
We're not even talking about that.
Okay. But yeah, she realizes.
We share the curse and does not make you hotter. If anything.
Leave it in the comments.
Don't.
Don't. But this is pretty much where the first volume ends.
And
the boys coming to get her back.
Just another little comedy moment where she's like, "How did you guys find me?" And they're like, "You told us where you were going, so we could send you letters and stuff."
Yeah.
And even in like the anime too, they do it again. Like there's little moments that they add that just make it better, where they listen to the conversation when they're standing outside, or they're like listening because it's construction or whatever, so they're able to like go on the lot, and then that's how they hear everything. And they say it in the manga like, "We heard everything, stupid," but it's like it's just to see their facial expressions when Toru's like explaining how she feels to her grandpa, and how they're talking shit to her, and how like they're bringing up her mom and being like, "Your mom was the same way, she was just trouble, blah blah," and it's like she just lost her like a fucking year ago. Like, chill out.
Yeah, I just realized the crazy connection between this and the Wheel of Time.
Okay.
Oh wow, you're really looking for it.
Well,
huh?
this is
It's a classic fantasy book, and it's just interesting that they both did a similar
interesting
thing. All right, you know what? I'm sorry.
Apology accepted.
Yeah, honestly,
anyway,
apology accepted.
No, go ahead.
I don't even want that. Let's move on.
What do they do?
In the Wheel of Time,
what do they do?
There's a character, there's like a group, there's a type of person who's like bound to wolves. And like if you are, you can like communicate with them. And a character, he meets one of them, but he doesn't want to reveal that to them. But he's able to like, wolves can tell him things that they see. So like he's like, "Oh, I've seen you like weeks." Like, "How did you see us?" He's like, I just like walk around a lot, but it was like because in Fruits Basket, because they're able to like talk and like work with the animals they're bound to.
They're
which is the best.
The animals are like naturally attracted to them too. I think,
which would be cool if you have like a cat, like Kyo would be, but you don't want. Yuki's got it rough, he's just walking around. They're like, "Why is there so many rats around?"
I would say
cool.
Dogs would be rougher, because they're like bigger. Like if you're bound to like rats and cats, like no one's gonna question.
Or like the seahorse, you're like never gonna encounter these fuckers. But that's very cute.
I have a tank or something.
Or like the tiger. Like there's certain animals that it wouldn't really affect your day-to-day life.
Yeah, because you're not
around them. But a dog, I mean, I would love to be the dog.
Yeah, you would. It'd be a nightmare for me.
Yeah, I would love the doggy.
But that's pretty much gonna do it for the end of the first volume. Final thoughts I want to give. I've decided to keep them a little spoiler free. And then we're going to talk about our zodiac signs and who we are. But actually, Megan, why don't you kick us off? Because I know that this is a series that means a lot to you. So just like if you feel like you haven't convinced somebody yet, or just to spew why you love this series so much, because I love it too.
Again, like we said, like it's just not what you think it's going to be. If you like drama, if you like comedy, if you like romance, I mean, it has it all, and it's done the best. I would say it's probably the best in those three genres, maybe separate and even together. It's a masterpiece. It's just a total masterpiece. It shocked me. I waited that period of time where I saw the first season of the anime in 2001, and I just never picked up the manga. I don't know if I would reread it just because I've already seen it adapted in 1, 2, 3 in the new version. So I know the story, it's completed for me. But if you've only watched the first season when I did in 2001 and you haven't picked up the 2019, like go for it. Like it's phenomenal. They did everything and then some for the adaptation, and just to see it completed, like it's a hole in my heart. Like just to have that like thing that I had for so long, and I was like, oh, I can't wait for the second season. It never came. And then in 2019, they're like, guess what's back? And I was like, what the And then the original dub cast to be brought back, I was shook. I'm still shook about it. It's like the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like it was so emotional. Like I was a child and now I'm grown up watching these characters. What do you mean?
I mean, you're older.
You're not.
So you literally, I was 12 years old when I watched this.
That's what I mean. You're older.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much like you.
I don't know if you've grown.
Continue though. Sorry to throw you off. Megan? You still there?
This is when my Kaguya comes out. That's what I
yeah.
Kill him. I might kill him.
If I don't first.
I might kill him tonight.
You don't have the balls.
I might. I do, actually. And I sat on them. You want me to say that?
Oh, wow. For people who don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. There's a joke that Cody says. And he's like,
it's not a joke. I mean, I think he really does do it.
No, I sat on my balls. which Megan can't.
It'd be funny if I could. So I would watch it immediately. Next on your list, I might check out Fruits Basket Another, which is
maybe I don't know.
Because it doesn't have that element of the original Fruits Basket that kind of draws you in.
Mm-hmm.
I won't give anything away, but it's definitely just a different story. So I don't know if I will, but maybe at some point.
Well, I'm kind of on the fence about Another too. I mean, I think that it is the story, thankfully, because of this new anime, is wrapped up beautifully. But I want to give Cody a chance to give his final thoughts. But before he does, I just want to say, kind of reiterate some of the same things that Megan said. Like, don't be fooled by the premise. Don't think you know what it's about, because it is so powerful. I mean, it's not just about like kindness and moving forward, but knowing that like everybody is going through something. It's a story about like lineage, familial bonds, like what bonds you to people, and what that means. It's about love, and it's about self-love. It's about
being selfish.
And it's about
even when you think that you don't deserve, exactly to love yourself.
And it's about confronting like your inner like demons, and not running away from who you are, and not being sort of, defined by your past, by the things that you've gone through. It is so beautiful. And I would say it's a masterpiece, and I would say it's for sure up there. It's cutesy, which I love, but can turn off some people. But I mean, even if you're someone who loves Berserk, like, I would say watch this for sure. Watch it, because you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't. But Cody, bring us home, dude.
I would say I was not the person to end this round on.
I thought it was pretty funny to do that, though.
That's true.
Again, I'm never gonna watch a slice of life on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I did think it was very funny. I thought the writing was like more complicated than I was expecting going in.
Mm-hmm.
Animation wise, the music really elevated the whole story for me. The voice acting, I don't know if I've just heard all those voice actors since then too much. But I did feel like it kind of like, oh yeah, like I kind of just hear those voices as voice actors at this point.
See, that's, yeah. I understand that though.
If someone was like, we're going to watch a slice of life, yeah, this would be one of them. But that's why I probably should end it on a more heartfelt.
No. I know, but I liked it. I thought it was really funny. And it was funny.
Well, it's coming from,
it got less funny.
It's coming from someone
but that wasn't your fault.
Who never watched it or experienced it. So I think
I had no idea. I go into things, I'm like, we'll see what happens. Like if they start like establishing things and then they unestablish it, then I start being like, well, why did that happen?
I do want to say though, as someone who like, I know kind of just from knowing you how long I've known you and then doing this podcast too, like I do think I know that there are some things in the story that you appreciate. And I think one of the things that you would appreciate is that, this is a person who had a roadmap, a plan, and was able to plant the seeds of that throughout since the very first chapter. There's someone who is not figuring it out as they go along. And I think its rereadability has so much potential, because you can go back and see like, oh my God. Yeah, like this was all the way back then. That's
one of the most respectable things that like for me in writing would be that like, I think that like anything, like if you can't like rewatch it, I don't know if you can say you liked it, like with the Avatar movie.
Yeah, well, the Avatar, the blue Avatar,
yeah,
it's a garbage movie.
Yeah, you're like, you watch it once, you're like, oh wow, it wasn't really creative.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I mean, we might get a couple comments about that, but
defend the 7 movies he has planned. And you're like, what else are you gonna rip off?
Yeah, I can't wait to see the Avengers Endgame of Avatar.
Yeah, like he's gonna reunite with another planet, but they're green. Like, oh, are you gonna do the? The point is, I thought it like writing wise, it did seem like really solid.
It's super solid.
Yeah, it gets,
and it's like it stays consistent and it stays solid.
It is a thing where I want to know like, so what's up with the other zodiac signs? What do they look like? How do their personalities play into them?
Well, look, I mean, not to get into spoilers here, but after the pod, and maybe on the Patreon, maybe not, but it will definitely catch you up on everything that happens. But what I want to know right now is what your guys' signs are and what zodiac animals you guys are.
So us guys is
you're the same?
We're both Aquariuses.
But like your zodiac animal. What
I'm tiger.
That's cool.
What element? You had time to look it up.
Air. You said, I don't know where the wood came from. Look up mine.
Yeah, Cody's doubtful because you guys are both
I'll
born,
look up yours.
But you guys are both born different years. So
exactly.
Does your Fruits Basket character, do you feel any sort of connection to them? Because you're the what again?
I'm the tiger. I'm Kisa. Kisa, which is, oh my God, I died.
You were born in 1994?
1998? Excuse me?
I only ask because I feel such a deep connection to I'm Yuki's brother, whose name I always forget. But I think it's Ayame. Yeah, Ayame. I have such a deep connection to Ayame. Like that is who I wish I could be.
You're Ayame.
No, it's Ayame.
Dude, we could talk about. I can't wait to talk about it with you. But
he is
what's your birthday?
January 23rd.
Ayame's the snake. He's fashionable. He is loving, smooth. I mean, he's not smooth. He's
kind of smooth.
He tries too hard, which I do too. Let's be real. I've been told that many times.
Megan's a water tiger.
A water tiger. And Cody, last but not least, you are
a wood pig.
Which you know what? I don't want to be mean.
Say it. No, say it, please.
No, the second I saw that, I'm like, there's a lot you can do with that.
Well, what I was going to say had nothing to do with wood, but I was just going to say like another name for the pig is also like
Josh.
In Fruits Basket, they call the pig
the boar.
Which Cody.
boar. Cody would bore.
No, Cody's kind of a bore. Yeah.
Try to talk to books about people.
Cody would bore you to death.
Cody would bore you to death. We're kidding, Cody. I love when you talk about books.
Cody?
I was going to say we.
No, I love that you pretend to be interested.
I am interested. I pretend that I'm not interested for the podcast.
Yeah, because it's funny.
Because it's funny.
Hilarious.
I'm sorry.
I think it's pretty good.
The only thing left to do now is, first of all, if you haven't watched or read Fruits Basket, watch it. If you have,
please
let us know. Yes, let us know what you think about it, because it's something that if you haven't experienced, you're going to want to experience.
It's the best.
Other than that, we usually reserve this portion of the episode for our Wonder Circle, where we read comments that you've left on previous videos. But in the spirit of being wholesome, and in the spirit of maybe even shaking up a little bit of that wholesome energy, and just doing something different today, we want to shout out some of our $10 Patreon members. And not only do we want to shout them out and reward them for being part of our $10 tier Don't Bully Me Volume 1 Sean, we want to let Volume 1 Sean shout him out. So Volume 1 Sean, why don't you go ahead and shout out the first Patreon member, please?
What is up, Brendan? Welcome to the upper echelon Patreon tier, including myself, Volume 1 Sean. What's up, my dude? Your name's Brendan J. Davidson, huh? More like Harley Davidson, or you like a biker or something? Anyway, I hope you have a great day.
Wow.
And continue to watch those three people on the Volume 1 podcast. Bye!
Wow, we don't even
get like shout outs or anything. That was rough, dude. I think Volume 1 Sean's year of the dog, dude. That was rough.
Oh, that was roughy.
Like the hair of the dog.
I did kind of like it.
I need some hair of the dog. Thank you. Really, for real, genuinely, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Volume 1 Sean. She's a little like aggressive, I feel like.
Yeah, super aggressive.
The tier is that, you get roasted, but I don't know if I would call that a roast, dude, or just like, I don't really know what I'd call that.
The straw grasp.
Straw grasp.
Yeah, Volume 1 Sean. The next one, let's kick it up a notch. Let's see if we could do a little bit better. Not that one wasn't good, but hit us with the next one.
Hello, Ramit. Welcome to the upper echelon Volume 1 podcast
Sticking to her gun.
Patreon tier, including myself, Volume 1 Sean.
Got it.
Your name is Ramit. I wish I could meet you, but I'm in this
dude.
on this podcast. But anyway, have a good day. You're amazing, and hopefully you keep listening to those three people talk all the time.
They don't get
she
better.
She literally never says her name now. I
She's
don't
a
know.
diva. I think ever since we had a certain amount of subscribers, she can't even be bothered to say our name.
No, she really can't. She really can't anymore. Which is like, it's. I get it. We get it.
You get it. I'm
she
pissed.
doesn't really talk to us.
Yeah, she's kind of been in a mood lately.
Let's talk about the lore.
Volume 1 show. We got one more, dude, and we're gonna get to the rest of our Patreon members throughout some of our future episodes. But Volume 1 show, bring it home. You know,
we need a good
These
one.
have all been great, and we do love all of our Patreon members. But like, come on, we got a show. We're doing a show here. Let's end with a. I'm trying to produce a show here. Let's end with a bang, huh? So let's hit us with the last one, please.
Hello, Easton. Welcome to the upper echelon Patreon tier, including me, Volume 1 Chan.
Okay.
Oh, your name is Easton Jones. Do you know what the West looks like? Or maybe the Northton? I don't know. Anyway, have a great day, and I hope you do amazing things, and hopefully you continue to listen to those three people talk in that podcast thing. All right, anyway, bye.
And you would think that she has a lot of time to come up with these, you know?
For only $10 a month, you too can get roasted and shouted out.
Just get absolutely lit up.
Dude, you guys are like lit up right now.
Yes. I mean,
I'm getting secondhand roasting.
Yeah. You know, they say save the best for last, but I think she might have saved the worst for last. I mean,
I honestly think that was the best one.
You know what? Maybe I'm being a little too critical.
Damn.
But I mean, her algorithm numerics determined that.
We need a calibrator after this.
Yeah.
We need a calibrator. But speaking of Patreon members, we want to thank all of our Patreon members. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yay.
We love and appreciate every single one of you. All of our new members, thank you so much. I mean, your support means the world to us, and it allows us to just dedicate more of our time, less of our time doing things that we don't want to be doing, and more time to the thing that we love doing, which is reviewing manga, talking about anime, and making videos, which because of your support, you allow us to do more and more of.
They're the apple of our eyes.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I love you just as much as Q.
I love you just as much. I love you so much.
You're pretty as peaches.
So much.
You're pretty as peaches.
Yeah. Okay, well, now I have to do a fruit one.
You got nice melons.
Oh.
All right. I was going to say like bananas, more like like I love you. I love you. I'll love you for as long as a banana and then some.
I'll say we're bananas for you.
Fuck, that was right there. That was so easy. Why did I struggle so much?
That was right there.
It was ripe there.
And the king has returned.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yes.
Megan?
But yes, we go bananas for you guys. Say yours again. I'll say mine again. I go bananas for you.
You're the apples of our eyes.
You guys are grape.
There we go.
I didn't think you'd do it, but you really pulled it through at the end.
Thank you.
And of course, if you want to become a Patreon member, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/volume1pod. And thank you, no matter how you show your support, algorithm gang, commenting, liking, subscribing, all of it helps us so much. It means the world to us, no matter how you do it. We love each and every single one of you. That's going to do it for another episode of Volume 1. The only thing left to do now is to get out of here on our outro that is always the same and never, ever, ever, ever changes, which today is... Yeah, rice balls.
There's a lot of material.
I know. Why did I not?
Even all our fruit pitches could have been good for an outro. Yeah. Until next time, fruits out of the basket. I don't know.
I'm gonna vote for that one.
I mean, there's a lot of Megan's looking for an answer in the stars. I feel like.
What do the stars tell you?
Yeah, we got. I mean, you're
there's
really
animals,
nothing, huh?
Elements, fruit.
I think the
They go
pressure
to school.
really.
There's games they play. Old man, young man. We never made the joke, but Josh is always the old man.
Fruits basket, more like I'm gonna put you in a casket if you don't watch the end.
Whoa!
Strong energy, but it's your favorite thing, so let's do it.
You really want to say that to people?
Don't be a bore. Watch Fruits Basket.
Well, that's mean. He's right here.
No, it's hilarious. Don't be a bore. Watch Fruits Basket. That's a good one, Megan. I like that suggestion. Let's do it. Set us up.
We're doing that one?
I'm trying to get
Let's
it. I'm
just
trying to get it.
Fruits Basket's great, and the cat's out of the bag.
So much love for Fruits Basket.
But we gotta it's gotta be like until next time, and it's gotta be fruits out of the basket. I mean, just for the sake of like.
Cat's out of the bag. No.
Cat's out of the bag, fruits out of the basket, and we're volume 1 signing off.
That would be good if we. Yeah,
okay.
No, I mean we gotta just do one.
Okay,
we gotta
It's the 2. This doesn't. It's never even worth this effort.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Let's just do the
It's
one
the
that you
same
said.
one
Until
every
next
time
fruits
anyway.
out of the basket. Okay. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, fruits out of the basket. I mean, there's probably like 5 people who made it that far.
Yeah. But when we do a volume done, you'll have a bunch of them.
A volume 1. And for the 5 people who did make it this far, we love you.